sixth and final round of the 2017 Australian RallyCross Series, the Queensland town of Stanthorpe playing host. This tight and very challenging layout, a perfect circuit to end what's been a brilliant season of super competitive rallycross. A compact field of all-wheel drive and two-wheel drive teams will do battle across 3 heats and a final before closing out the year with a 6-lap super final. A couple of the one-make series XLs will join the two-wheel drive class across the day's racing. The 10-minute qualifying session proved to be good ones for the respective class leaders. Will Orders was the quickest all-wheel drive with a time of 39.189 seconds. In the two-wheel drive category, Mike Conway piloting his Ford Escort to the quickest time of 41.687, setting himself up for the first of the heats. The four-wheel drive fight on from the drop of the flag and including some super close battles at the pointy end. Season-long combatants Justin Dowel and Will Orders continued on cue, the two on many occasions separated by the smallest of margins. In fact, on the final heat, just .0063 separated winner Dowel over Orders. This series now well known for its close quarters racing, and again on this occasion it did not disappoint. At the conclusion of the day's tough heats, the Mitsubishi of Will Orders taking the points for the top spot in the class. Justin Dowel second and young gun Troy Dowel third. No less action across the heats for the two-wheel drive class competitors. The added attraction of the front-wheel drive modern machinery of Troy Dowel and Scott Anderson versus the two-wheel drive classic gravel-spitting Escort special of Mike Conway. This diversity delighting the spectators across the fiercely contested races. A great show as they fought hard to take as much of the points on offer. The Flying Escort showing the way with a clean sweep on the 3 heats. Dowel and Anderson grabbing a second and third each over the first 2 heats. Unfortunately, no points in the third run for Anderson with a DNF. The XL of Busted taking 2 from 3 of the heats to lead that class. The 6-lap final now, the two-wheel drive class out first. A clean start for the Escort of Mike Conway, getting the jump off the front row. Anderson another to get a good run. He would slip down the inside of Dowel from his second row start. The battle for second place, the one to watch for the next couple of laps. Anderson initially holding off Dowel, but having to relinquish that spot on lap 5 as Dowel produced a great move to slip underneath Anderson in turn 1. More drama on this lap with the race leader Conway slowing and out of the final, a cruel blow after such a great run. At race end, a brilliant drive for Dowel to take the win, Anderson second with Ashby third. The XL battle would result in the win for the 72 of Ron Busted. Orders and Dowel would line up on the front row for the all-wheel drive final, the field getting away to a good clean start. Although relatively tight for the first couple of laps, the Mitsubishi of Will Orders would lap by lap extend his gap over the hard-charging Justin Dowel. At race end, a winning margin of just over 4.5 seconds, a very good effort by Orders. Second place to Justin Dowel, third to his son Troy, driving the team's VW Polo. The great sounding Audi S2 of Mick Ashby finishing fourth. The last one of the day for both categories, another 6-lap dash, this the super final. A hectic start, the front row of Dowel and Anderson side by side into the tight right-hander of turn one. Dowel taking the advantage with Conway brilliantly off the back of the grid, squeezing through on Anderson after he slid wide onto the loose. A great final run for Troy Dowel, the Mazda driver not headed across the 6-lap journey, taking the super final easily in the end. For this young gun, a brilliant season closer, not only taking out the 2-wheel drive competition, but he was super competitive in the 4-wheel drive class as well. The added challenge, not only swapping cars, but also having to tackle right-hand to left-hand drive.
I don't think it'll be as big of a challenge as someone like me. I'm relatively inexperienced, so I'm not really used to either side, so yeah, I haven't really found it much difficult. I think maybe sometimes it might help me out figuring out braking zones.
Good work from Mike Conway in his super competitive Escort. He'd take second in the super final to top off a good day's work. This has been a busy year, Conway taking out the 2-wheel drive class series for 2017, and very pleased with the way the sport's progressed this year.
Yeah, it's been a good year, I think, for its first year of a complete season. A couple of rounds up here, 3 in Sydney and 1 down at Winton in Victoria, which is one of my favourite tracks. So yeah, good spread of different types of tracks, and we had a reasonable run in each round, and yeah, ended up series leader.
Scott Anderson taking third place in the super final, the XL battle going the way of the 72 car. Tough laps for the all-wheel drive class to finish their day's racing. A good clean start as the field closed up for turn one. The top players still very close. However, the Orders Mitsubishi would show its supremacy and push out to a lead. By the second lap, the gap would be out to a couple of car lengths. Justin Dowel second with Troy Dowell and Mike Ashby third and fourth. Justin Dowell would take his joker lap mid-race to try and bridge the gap. However, Orders would be too strong on this occasion and take the win to top off a very successful day's racing. 4-wheel drive round winner Will Orders very pleased with his efforts. The opportunity for pre-event preparation paying dividends on this tough day of competition.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we had a pretty good lead up to the event. It was actually the first time we tested the car before an event all year. We've been pretty on our toes with running so many cars and so on and so forth. So I actually got a day at Winton to test. We made some progress, and it's shown today here. Justin's always a tough competitor, and so is Troy. Troy spent all year overseas in rallycross in Finland, racing the best of the best over there. So he's come a long way this year, and it's been really good to see him, go from stride to stride and really make the most of his experience over there. So it was really good, and it's always it's always a fantastic battle when you're racing Justin and Troy and the likes. It's really good.
For second place man Justin Dowel, a good result today. However, more importantly, a fantastic year of very competitive rallycross.
Yeah, it's been a great year. I think the racing's been very good, very aggressive driving, and the cars have held up pretty well. It's the first season I've gone through in motorsport where I haven't replaced a panel, so I'm pretty happy.
Third place to Troy Dowel after a busy day's racing for the young hotshot. In all, a great final round to a super series, bigger and better in 2018, as this very exciting brand of motorsport is gathering huge momentum.